What is up, you guys? It is HJ Halloween back again with another Spirit Halloween sneak peek for the 2021 season. But before I jump into it, as usual, I need to shout out my music. You just heard a clip of my new song, All I Ever Wanted, at the beginning of this video, which will be linked down in the description to my Spotify, Apple Music, and my Tyler Hunt Music YouTube if you don't want to miss my upcoming Halloween music video. Please be sure to check out the music. I really do appreciate all of the support. Now, also, don't forget about my new Patreon if you want exclusive content from me this Halloween season. We're getting closer and closer to the time when I'm going to start purchasing props, taking you on tours of stores, and you can access all sorts of exclusive stuff in my Patreon. You'll be able to see tours of stores other than Spirit Halloween. You get to see me unbox props from places like Party City, maybe even Home Depot, but Party City for sure. And also, you'll get to see the Spirit Halloween prop reviews, as well as you can message me directly with guaranteed daily responses. So that is all available to you, depending on which tier you purchase. Link down in the description to Patreon. All right, so without further ado, let's talk about what you see on the screen right now, Mr. Howle, the big werewolf for the 2021 season. And this guy certainly is a huge fan favorite. He was one of the ones that was released as a blueprint. So we had Henry Hustle, which I talked about yesterday, so I figured I might as well follow up with Mr. Howle. Now, as you saw in the video, it's a pretty typical werewolf prop, very much similar to the Howling Werewolf. I mean, pretty much the same thing from 2016, except a little bit bigger and honestly a little bit more menacing, in my opinion. He's got a plaid shirt, as you can see, because it's probably a human who then turned into a werewolf at night. And he's got big, huge talon hands. He's also got a furry head with then some huge teeth, a huge wide mouth that actually opens up. The bottom jaw moves just like he's howling, right? His eyes light up white, as you can see. His head also tilts back, and in the video it almost seems like his whole body has a little bit of a upward motion. It goes from more of a crouching stance to moving upward. So this guy is certainly very interesting. Now, obviously, it's not much different than stuff we've seen in the past, like Howling Werewolf, that still has that kind of same, growl audio. Obviously, it doesn't have any phrases. It's just got that one growl, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? It's kind of a copy and paste of the Howling Werewolf, although one of the major differences is that I think it's going to be quite a lot bigger. The thing about this guy is that he is $299.99. So we're talking a $300 prop, certainly not on the cheaper end for this year. But the thing I wanted to talk about that's interesting about this guy is that he's actually much larger than most props we see. He's 7 feet tall. Now, most average props are 5.8 or 6 feet, and that's kind of what you would typically expect. So when you have a 7-foot prop, it's probably going to surprise us as to how large this thing is in person. One thing to note is that Howling Werewolf was $250 back in its day, which still is quite an extreme price, but he wasn't quite as big as this guy. So it kind of makes sense that this werewolf is just a little bit more, $300. It also has a little bit more range of motion with that head tilt and everything going on, right? But the thing I wanted to mention specifically is that $300 seems very similar to the price that we saw for Crouchy the Clown. Another huge prop, 7 feet tall with a crouching stature. And that is why I am starting to think that this guy might be about the size of Crouchy the Clown. Now, who knows? We'll see it in person soon enough. Stay tuned for that when I go to the Spirit Halloween flagship store. But, we'll see it in person soon enough to see how large it actually is. But with its crouching stance and the fact that it's still 7 feet tall with that stance, I'm having a premonition that it might be quite as large as Crouchy the Clown, who, as you guys all know, is one of the biggest things ever to be seen in stores. And if that is the case, it's starting to make sense as to why this guy is going to be $300. Because not only is it that large, but it also has the mouth movement, the head tilt, the eyes lighting up, and I don't know if it moves from side to side. I'm forgetting if that was included in the video or not, but there is quite a large range of motion along with being large in and of itself. So definitely a very interesting addition to the 2021 lineup. Not exactly sure what theme it's going to be in, but I think we will be seeing this guy in stores. I just checked back in the video and realized that there is no side-to-side motion, as you guys would have seen, but it also does have the upward movement of the arms. So it almost seems like it has this full lean back animation where the arms move up, the head tilts upward. I don't know if the back is going to straighten out a little bit, and then its mouth opens wide when it gives a howling noise. So it's got all sorts of howls and growls that are certainly very fitting and very much similar, again, to the howling werewolf. There's also definitely some similarities in the hands and in the legs to the limb ripper. So very much has the classic werewolf look that we typically see for Spirit Halloween, and I'm very excited to see if it is as big as Crouchy. And if that is the case, I think it's going to become some people's very much favorite prop, especially those of you that are into the werewolves. So other than that, that is pretty much it for Mr. Howle. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my Spotify, which will be linked down in the description. And also don't forget to check out my Patreon if you want to see me review this prop later down the line and have all those awesome opportunities. That will be linked down in the description as well as the top of the comment section. All right, guys, stay tuned for the next sneak peek coming out tomorrow, and I'll see you then.